Well, welcome to the Botanical Medicine Study course with me, your host and instructor, Stephanie Georgia, for the online class in all things botanical medicine. And that class is a little separate than these wonderful videos that I post on YouTube. So if you would like to be the first on your blog to know most of what is available in terms of practice, science, and application of botanical medicine, click below and you will be directed to a form which will show you how you can download the introductory video and handouts for the course. A special thanks to new subscribers and all of you who comment, like, and share these videos. It really does help to spread the word. Now, for this week's Herb of the Week, we're going to be exploring a healing plant that has an affinity for the lungs. With all the fires in North America making the air quite bad for breathing, combined with the heat, I thought Coltsfoot would be a great plant to explore on the Botanical Medicine Study course, Herb of the Week. Now, Tussilago farfara is the botanical name for Coltsfoot, and it's a plant in the genus Senesioaceae and the family of Asteraceae, which is native to Europe and parts of Western and Central Asia. The name Tussilago is derived from the Latin term tussis, which means to cough, and ago, which means to cast out or act on. Any medical word with tus in it has something to do with cough. And you know that over-the-counter medicine Robitussin, it's for coughs, and that's why it has the word tussin in it. Coltsfoot is widespread across Europe, Asia, and North Africa, and it's a common plant in North and South America where it's been introduced, most likely by settlers, as a medicinal herb. And it also provides early bloom for honeybees, so that's probably why the Europeans brought it with them. Some more traditional English names are quite a hoot, if you ask me. Coughwort, half-foot, horsefoot, Asa's foot, and I have no idea what Asa looks like, but he certainly has a weird footprint. Foalwort, field horse, and bull's foot. And as I said before, coltsfoot is a perennial herbaceous plant, and it spreads both by seeds and rhizomes. And Tussilago is often found in colonies of dozens of plants, and the flowers, which resemble a lot of dandelion, and you can see that in this drawing. But the way you know that it's not dandelion is with the leaf. The dandelion leaves are long, angular leaves, and this looks like a little colt's footprint. Now, the herbal actions of Tussilago or coltsfoot, it's an expectorant, it's an antitussive, basically means it stops coughing, it's an antispasmodic, it's demulcent, it's an anticatarrhal herb, which means it gets rid of the phlegm in your throat and your lungs, and it's also diuretic. Now, the wonderful thing about Tussilago is that it combines a soothing expectorant with antispasmodic actions. The leaves are high in zinc, and zinc is a good mineral that has anti-inflammatory properties, and that's probably why Tussilago has these properties. And it also enhances immunity in general. Tussilago is also good for bronchitis, irritating coughs, and asthma. And when I lived in Southern California, we would get these terrible hot, dry winds in the autumn. And I was always despondent when these winds would come, and I would always try to go somewhere cold and damp during September, October, November, just because I couldn't stand it. And we called them Santana winds. And what we did at one of my jobs is we would make up a signature tea and call it Santana tea. and it would have coltsfoot in it with other herbs that help the lungs not be so irritated by the hot, dry, dusty winds. Now, some modern research has shown that it has a potential at dealing with some of the complications of diabetes, but this is very new research, and so I can't say definitively that that's what it's helping with. Now, some of the constituents of Tussilago are called pyrrolizidine alkaloids, which may have some liver toxic properties. They are quite low in Tussilago, but to be on the safe side, it's best not to use this herb long term, meaning no longer than 6 continuous weeks per year. And if you're still coughing after 6 weeks, you're going to need more than Tussilago to help you. And you definitely should see a physician and get an x-ray to make sure you're okay. Now, the Chinese use Tussilago. We know that it's indigenous to certain parts of China, but they use the flower. They don't use the leaf, they use the flower. And it's called Kung Dong Hua, and Hua is the Chinese word for flower. And it's pungent and warm. It enters the lung meridian. And coughing in Chinese medical theory is rebellious lung qi, because the qi for the lungs should go down. And if you're coughing, it's going in the wrong direction. So this is what this herb does. It pulls that lung qi down, it stops coughing, and it's also really good for coughs and wheezing due to cold conditions. And some types of asthma are aggravated by cold winds. So Quan Dong Hua is a good herb for you to take. And it's only used for temporary and only small quantities because of those pyridoxaline, blah, blah, blah things that everybody's upset about. Now, there are numerous brands and supplements on the market, and you can take it in tincture form, you can take it powdered in capsules, or get the dried leaves and make a tea. And many over-the-counter tea combos and tinctures actually often combine Coltfoots with herbs like marshmallow and licorice. And marshmallow is an herb. The Latin for it is called althea, and it's very moistening. And obviously, if you've got dry, irritating coughs, you need to moisten your lungs. I find it very mild tasting and very soothing, especially for dry coughs. Now, in many countries, coltsfoot is considered a noxious weed, which is a pity. It can often be mistaken for dandelion, okay? And this is where understanding your botany comes in handy. Now, you can see the difference between the flowers if you really stare at them, but they do look familiar. They do look very similar. And the way you can tell the difference is the leaves. In coltsfoot, Tussilago, it looks like a horse footprint. And in dandelion, the leaves are long, pointed, and scalloped. Both dandelion and coltsfoot are considered weeds, but this is because they have no qualified herbalists on the weed designation committees. They're not weeds, and they're really good for both the soil and also healing for humans. Now, there's a link in the program notes on how to cultivate both of them. And when I was looking for such an article, there were so many articles on how to rid your garden of coltsfoot and dandelion, but don't do it. Don't. These are beautiful plants with amazing healing qualities if they are used properly and in limited amounts, and they're also good for your soil. So however you wish to incorporate this amazing plant into your life, allowing it to live in your garden, enjoying it in tea during hot, dry, smoky winds, or if you have a bronchitis or a dry cough, I hope you come to appreciate what a lovely gift Tussilago coltsfoot is. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me. Make sure to click below in the program notes if you would like a free sample video for the online botanical medicine study course. and information on all things Coltsfoot. Until next time, be well.